At least 17 targets were hit across multiple districts, including Panjgur, Surab, Kech, and Kharan. All of these in Balochistan. Now, the Balochistan Liberation Front, the BLF, says these attacks are part of a larger operation, Operation Baam, which it described as the new dawn in the Baloch National Liberation War. And in a statement, BLF's spokesperson, Major Gwahram Baloch, asserted that the operation stretched right from the Kharan coast to the Kohe-Suleiman mountainous regions, underscoring the group's extended operational reach at this particular point in time. The attacks reportedly focused on military checkpoints, communications infrastructure, and administrative buildings. And whilst the Pakistani government has not confirmed the full extent of damage or casualties, local sources report heavy disruption and continuing search operations by the security forces over there. Joining me here on the broadcast is News9 Senior Executive Editor Aditya Rajkol. Aditya, let's help the viewers understand what Operation Baam essentially is. It seems to be more calculated attacks on the Pakistani military. 17 different locations that were attacked, and these were all coordinated attacks that have rocked Balochistan.
Absolutely, Kabir. Major attacks taking place against the Baloch groups. Baloch groups actually launching these attacks against the Pakistani deep state. The Pakistan Army and the Frontier Corps are the top priority targets for the Baloch groups. This time, the BLF spokesperson coming out and saying that Operation Baam has been launched, and this is perhaps a paradigm shift, a new chapter in the Baloch struggle for freedom from the illegal occupation of the Pakistani military. Now, in the last 3 years or more, we've seen continuous attacks, not just against the Pakistani military, but also the Chinese occupation, the Chinese engineers and Chinese teachers, the Chinese infrastructure across Balochistan. This time around in Surab, in Kech, in different other areas, including Panjgur, we have seen attacks on the Pakistani government infrastructure, on the Pakistani military camps, and the Frontier Corps zones as well. So clearly, there are 17 different attacks that have happened over the last 48 to 72 hours. But there's no news in the Pakistan media because the Pakistan Army, the ISPR, and the ISI have gagged the media, have banned the Pakistani media from covering any issues, be it of the Baloch armed struggle or, in fact, the peaceful struggle of Marang Baloch and others who are again incarcerated, who are in jail for more than 3 months now. So as of now, the Baloch are rising with a rebellion against Asim Munir, against the Pakistani military. You saw what happened weeks ago during the Jafar Express attack. There were several casualties that were reported. And since then, many attacks that have taken place across Balochistan. And it doesn't seem like that this is going to end. This is perhaps a beginning of a new rebellion, a new chapter of violence that the Pakistani military will face because of the human rights violations and subjugation that they have done against the common Baloch people.
You're absolutely right. Aditya, before we let you go, one final question. The spokesperson does say, and I'm going to quote him here, he says, the resistance has entered a new phase, just like you were pointing out yourself. He's saying that Operation Baam is designed to demonstrate that Baloch fighters are capable of launching large-scale, synchronized operations across the vast geography. And he's also said that he claimed the attacks were carefully coordinated to inflict both human and material losses.
One thing, Kabir, that we need to understand is that Balochistan as a province of Pakistan or illegally occupied province is one of the largest in Pakistan. As a matter of fact, the population, on the other hand, is one of the lowest. So obviously there's a scattered population. The Pakistan Army claims to control the entire area, but there are confrontations that happen between Iran and Pakistan, between Afghanistan and Pakistan at their respective borders. And at the same time, the common Baloch people who do not accept themselves as Pakistanis, they say that in 1948 and later, the Pakistani military forcefully occupied them. And that's why they're rising up. They may not be as strong as the Pakistani military. They do not have the same kind of weaponry or resources, but they say that whatever little that they can accumulate, they will certainly rise up. And we've seen over the last 1 year, there have been synchronized attacks in at least 4 to 5 areas at the same time. They've occupied highways, they've stopped vehicles, they've targeted Pakistani military infrastructure, gas pipelines, even the Gwadar port has come under attack. As I said, there have been casualties not just faced by the Frontier Corps and the Pakistani military, but the Chinese engineers and Chinese teachers as well, which has frustrated China because the BRI and the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor goes through Balochistan. So it is certainly not easy for China. And the Pakistani military may continue their violence and bloodshed and mayhem in Balochistan, but it does seem that they will face a stiff resistance from the Baloch groups.